Hi, this is Beth Ann from Beth Ann Stamps, and I thought I would come on here and do a video for you on how to make a cute little stocking stuffer gift for this year. It's actually a little Post-it note holder with a matching pen, and it is so very easy. I have a few of them here. They open up, and you have a little Post-it note inside. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what we're going to do. You're going to need a piece of cardstock, 8.5 by 3.5 inches. You're going to need some designer series paper, whatever you want to use to match your cardstock. In this one, I'm using the wood textures. You're going to need 2 pieces cut at 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. And you're going to need 2 pieces cut at 3 1/4 and 1 1/4 pieces. For this one, I'm using some Early Espresso ink, some Memento black ink. I have a little sponge dauber for my Early Espresso. I have a stamp that I'm going to use on the front label, in this case, from the Waterfront stamp set. Every little kindness makes the world brighter. I have some tear and tape. I have a 3x3 notepad, and I have some multi-purpose Tombow glue. I have a label punch. I have an RSVP ink pen. These work really well because you can unscrew the bottom of them so that we can insert that matching paper and then put it back together very easily. They're also like my favorite pen to use. And then we're going to use a little Velcro sticky dot. All right, so let's get started. We're going to take the 8.5 by 3.5 piece of paper, and along the 8.5 side, we're going to score this at 1.5. We're going to score it at 2, and we're going to score it at 5. And 5.5. We'll move that out of the way. And of course, my bone folder is lost somewhere in my mess of a desk that you can't see, which is okay. But we want to really burnish these edges on the folds that we had. So we'll get those nice and burnished in, and then you can see this is going to make our cover. So we do want to cover it. We're going to take that 3.5 by the 2 3/4, and we're going to put one on the back. Whoop, a little too much glue there. Set that down there nice and neat. We're going to take another one. It'll go on the front. And you just center them on there with a little bit of edge around it so it frames it. And then, of course, the flap that comes over to the front, we're going to take one of these small ones and put that on the front. All right. And now I was able to find my bone folder, which is good, because for this other piece, you really want to take your bone folder and sort of break down those fibers so that you will be able to roll this piece of paper to fit with inside the tube of the ink pen. So what I do is I actually take this part out and try to roll this around the pen itself to try to get that really, really tight, because the tighter you get that, the better it will go into the tube. And then I will take to push that down inside. Let's see, I probably have some little stylist here, because you want to get that inside. Let's see if I can't remember what I was using last night. Maybe it was the paintbrush. There, that's what I was doing. So I was using the tip of the paintbrush, and it really helps push that in. It looks like I may have damaged the tip of this, but that's all right. It'll work for now. I'll replace it later. So there you go. See, we have that nice matching pen with the paper rolled up inside. Now we're just going to take our 3x3 pad, and we're going to take some tear and tape and put it on the back of here. That will really help hold it inside of the cover. Just take a few of these, put them along. I like to make sure they're down really tight. And then I lift off the, making a mess. All right, so then we're gonna peel these up. Doesn't want to stick. Let's see if I burnish them down a little bit. That'll make it easier to peel. Yes, there we go. Sometimes it's easier than others. Didn't get that one burnished down enough. There we go. I don't know, is anybody else like me where you just sort of pick it up and throw it to the side? And you just want to center this in the middle. Get my head in the way there for a minute. So that will hold that down. So right now, see, very quick and easy. We have our little pad. Now we want to make our label. So I'm just going to bring in a piece of white scratch paper, and I'm going to use some Memento ink, and I'm going to stamp. Oh, very cute. I like this sentiment. All right, then we're just going to center that in our punch. I always like to do them upside down so I can see exactly where it's centered, and I like to leave it on the table because then it's easy just to pop in. Take that out of the way. I'm going to bring in my sponge dauber. I keep them all with labels on them with matching ink so I can reuse them. And we're just going to go around the side of this to distress the edges a little. I'll just make it stand out a little bit. There we go. And if I don't close my ink pad, I will be covered in ink. So for this, I just have to put a little bit of glue on the top of the label. I'm going to close this, line it up. Whoop! And of course I put it on the bottom of the label. No problem. I'm just going to wipe it off and let it dry. This is what happens in real life. Mistakes happen. So I'm going to take it over here. I'm going to put that on there. Tombow glue dries rather quickly, so we'll wait for that stickiness to go away. And the other trick that you can do to remove some of that stickiness is take your embossing buddy. If you want to use a sticker or something and you don't want some of the stickiness, you can just pounce that on there, and that will remove some of that stickiness on the glue. All right, so see, no problem. And then we're going to find the Velcro sticky dot. I put the two pieces together, and then I'm going to stick it on the bottom here. Peel off the bottom. That was a tight one. Again, line it up where I want it. Close it. And there is our Post-it note pad with our matching ink pen. And I want to use it. Just open it up. Cute little gift. And that's all there is to it. Thank you for watching. Keep on stamping.